I'll zoom around to you.
Okay, tropical soils, particularly in a rainforest situation, are very poor. All excess nutrients in the soil are leached out by all that rain. It's just constantly raining, and particularly in a place where there's any slope, you're gonna have all the rivers, in a place where there's any slope, you're gonna have rain coming down and leaching out excess nutrients in the soil, whatever excess nutrients there might be, and they go right to the river and out to the ocean. So under rainforest conditions like this and high temperatures, the soils are rather poor, and that creates a lot of stresses to the plant community, which are dealt with in a number of ways. One of the essential ones is really that most of the nutrients are tied up in the vegetation. So virtually all of the nutrients are in the trees, in the plants, or on the leaf litter that has just recently fallen. Now, it is essential to capture those nutrients before they are leached out by the rains, and the plants have partnered with a whole host of fungi called mycorrhizae fungi that enable plants to much more quickly gather nutrients. And here, I don't know if the camera will be able to capture this, but you can see these white little filaments that are climbing up. See that leaf with the white filament and the white here? That filament is a fungi mycelium that has climbed upon that leaf in order to extract nutrients right as it rots. So the leaf is not even rotted yet, and the fungi is capturing the nutrients. Fungi are able to colonize those leaves far more quickly and more efficiently than the actual tree roots. But they partner with the tree roots in a partnership where the fungi gives nutrients to the root, and then the tree takes those nutrients and harvests sunlight and creates sugars and other food for the fungi. So the fungi receives its sugars and so on from the tree roots that it is helping, and in turn it helps deliver a much greater amount of nutrients to the roots that would otherwise be available to the tree without the fungi. In fact, 20 times where they have been measured, 20 times more nutrients are captured by the fungi than are lost to rain and runoff. And it's a very tight nutrient cycling process. And it all hinges on these tiny fungi that colonize every rotting surface and help the roots capture the nutrients before they are leached out.
And when someone comes and disturbs the cycle, it's lost.
Essentially, yes. You don't find the same density. You find a much lower density of the fungi in a cropland like the one we saw earlier than you do in rainforest. In rainforest, the fungi are everywhere on the soil, and they are constantly recycling the nutrients. So the nutrients are recycled time and again in the forest, and the bulk of the nutrients are not on the ground. They are in the mass of vegetation above us. That's where the nutrients are. So when a farmer or a colonist cuts down a piece of the forest and burns it down, it releases those nutrients, and the first 2 or 3 years you have enough nutrients around to make it a reasonable proposition for agriculture. But those nutrients are not tied to the vegetable matter, and they're leached out, and eventually the soil becomes very poor. A cycle of grasslands planted for cattle then follows the farming, but that also lasts relatively few years, because slowly but surely the rains leach out the remaining nutrients, and you end up with a very degraded landscape that can take decades to recover even if left alone. the underlying soil is really poor, and you do a lot of damage to it when you take the rainforest out, because the rainforest is what keeps the nutrients in place.
Okay.